How you doing, guys? Somebody asked me a question about how the auto-siphon or the bell siphon works on this thing, and it's a great question. I was really confused about it at first when I first started looking into aquaponics, so I wanted to make a quick video and explain exactly how this thing works. And once you get to the end of this video, you'll find, like I did, that it's actually incredibly simple, especially if you already know what a siphon is. For those of you who don't know what a siphon is, I'll explain it to you right now. Right now, all I have is a piece of garden hose, about 5 or 6 feet long. I'm going to dunk it in here so all the air bubbles come out, so right now it's full of water. The whole hose is full of water. And then I take one end out, and water will just start coming out of it. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's just coming out the end. And what happens is, the water that's in, when the hose is full of water, and then you take your hand off the end, the hose that's in this section of the water flows out, and that creates a suction which pulls water out of the tank. So you have a natural flow here that as long as the end, the draining end, isn't above the end that's in the water, you'll have a constant flow of water until all the water's gone. And what you'll see happen is, if the air gets in this end of the hose, it stops automatically. Because then there's the water that's flowing out there is just pulling air in, and it breaks the siphon. Okay, so here's the bell siphon. This part is really not part of the mechanism, this is just a guard. So disregard that when talking about the function. And this, you can even ignore the tube. That makes it look complex, but it's really not. I'll explain that in a second. So really all we have is this pipe. It's literally just a pipe that goes through and out the bottom. So if the water was here, the water level is above the pipe, it would just be draining out. That's it. This is simply another pipe with a cap on it. Ignore this hose, because you don't even need it for a bell siphon necessarily. It just helps. So if you have another capped pipe, it's literally just sitting over it like that. So all you're really doing with those two pieces is basically using the hose like that, but making an end like this, where it wouldn't be pinched off, but it's just looped. So the water, once the water level is, I'll see if I can hold this so you guys can see it, is rising in the tank, it starts filling up both sides of this thing, or at least this side. And then as soon as it gets to the top, the water will start spilling over until that happens fast enough that it kicks the siphon on. Just like you saw with the hose being in one end of the water, except instead of being like this, it's more like this, which really doesn't make a difference as long as the hose wouldn't be kinked. And so that's the kind of situation that's created by the pipe being over another pipe. And so then once the water level rises up inside, it starts spilling over and out the drain part, and that kicks on the siphon. So then the water level will be rising, but since the drainage end is below this point, it'll still keep the siphon even though this part's above water until it gets down to this part, and then that part sucks in air. So all you're really seeing with this is if this tube wasn't there, the water level would keep siphoning until it got to these holes. But just in case these got clogged with something, maybe with roots or whatever, this is just another fail-safe to make sure that the siphon starts sucking in air here and breaks the siphon to restart the cycle. But you don't necessarily need that if you make holes all around the end, or just make it like a pronged end with big gaps, because as soon as it starts sucking in air, it will break the siphon. So I hope that cleared it up a little bit for those of you who didn't really know how an auto siphon works. If I didn't do a good job explaining it, let me know. I can try again. But yeah, let me know. That's it.